What's up? What is up? Right now, what is up worldwide? We are worldwide, hanging out. We're just having fun. I know I'm having fun. I'm reaching out to you. Wherever you are in the world, I'm reaching out into your living room. I'm on your phone, you're in your car, you're at work. We're connecting. I appreciate that. It's fun doing what I do. I am Big Cheds. It's Friday, 4/29/2022. I am just happy to be alive. I'm proud to be here, happy to be here, and happy you decided to join the party. So enough of that mushy stuff. Folks, I'm Big Cheds. I'm kind of a chart nerd. I'm into crypto. I feel like I'm probably one of the best trend analysts for Bitcoin, and that's what I try to do. And I enjoy connecting with you. And there's a great community out there. That's what this is. This is YouTube community, but pretty much people know me through Twitter. And people know me through Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Big Cheds. Mostly academic observations about price, trading, psychology, risk management. I am, of course, the author of Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. That book has been quite well received. I'm honored by that. Something I'm proud of. Actually, I have another book coming out in 3 to 6 months, Trading Quotes. But this book, Trading Wisdom, you can get it for free. Actually, go to my people. Sometimes people can't buy it because of country restrictions, stuff like that. Go to the playlist, and I'm going to do the whole book for free eventually. This update will be filed under Quick Market Updates. You're going to want to check this out. This is kind of a growing list. I don't really do these that often. I have to be in the right mood. But what I definitely want to recommend is Bitcoin.live. I'm a founding analyst at Bitcoin.live. I do a twice a week full market update. 365, 52 weeks a year. I don't miss. And I've been doing that for almost 4 years. And we have a great team. I mean, this is the best of the best analysis and education about crypto. So something I'm really proud of. Definitely want to encourage you to check that out. I did a stream 2 days ago, and I did one of those where I kind of explained all my tweets. I did one of those things, market moves explained. So I'm not like, I don't really want to, I'm not going to do that tonight. I was just checking with the chat room, see how everybody's doing, and just kind of see where it goes from there. I don't really have much I want to say. I kind of feel like I've already kind of said it, and we're just really at this point just waiting for the breakdown. So in the meantime, why don't you just give me a shout out? Let me know where you are in the world. I'm just going to check in on the chat room, see how everybody's doing. Vermont. All right, where's that cheddar cheese at in Vermont? How we doing over there? Let's see what's going on. What's popping? Somebody says, "What's popping, Cheds?" All right, listen, we're all in this together, right? We're we're all in the same sand. We're all in like the same sandbox. Go and become a Bitcoin.live member. I'm so happy to hear that. Listen, when you sign up, go watch my recent videos and tell me what the time of day is. All right, this is what I'm saying. Check the math. Go watch the last 6 months of videos and let me know what you think. But look, I'm so glad to have you all here. Let's see. I appreciate your work. I appreciate you. Without you folks, what am I? I'm just kind of talking to myself. So I appreciate that. Switzerland, good to see you there from Earth. We're all just on the same planet, sharing resources. Hopefully, we're playing together nicely. So look, Bitcoin. I'll talk about. Here's what we'll do. I'll talk about Bitcoin a little bit. And by the way, thank you for letting me indulge. Talking about my book, talking about Bitcoin.live, all that stuff. Thank you for letting me indulge. I think free alpha is really important. And I was thinking about this today. I've been trying to, and often I'll think about a tweet I want to tweet, and it might take me a week, a few days or a week to kind of figure out how I want to say it. But I've been I've been wanting to say there's just a lot of really good free alpha out there. Free, right? And it gets better every year. And it's it wasn't there a year ago or 2 years or 3 years ago. And just the market's matured. So things are different, but there's a lot of really good free info out there. So I'm trying to figure out kind of how to anyway. So that's the case. You got just take advantage of that. Be hungry. Take advantage of the free alpha. Why do I have the 4 hour out here? I mean, 4 hours decent if you're watching. It's not too, it doesn't move too quick like the 1 hour. It's not as slow as the daily. It's decent for getting kind of the meat of the move. Like 4-hour up, Bollinger Band has a pretty good play in the 4-hour. That's why I like to watch it. I'll do tweets where I look for kind of like a 1-hour lower to upper Bollinger Band move, or I'll look for like that 1-hour pinch, right? That's how I kind of structure my coverage. And it's based on understanding what the daily chart is doing. We've been talking about that. Kind of everything is like post breakdown, right? Break down the failed breakout, MA200 rejection, the idea of the MA200 rolling over. And then we've had kind of this recent signal in the 3-day chart, which is really not good. The idea that the price is now closing and losing this 3-day MA200. And that's the first time since 8K, really since back in March 20. It's a sign of weakening trend, right? Your whole job is just to study the trend. You just think about the trend. You orient your analysis. Don't think about like whether Duquan's buying, or whether like Michael Saylor's doing this and that, or whether like some NFT, like just it's the trend. The only thing that really matters is the trend. And all those other things, those are little things that get added into the mix that eventually shows up in the price. Everything eventually shows up in the price. So in the end, if you narrow your focus, if you concentrate your focus on the price and the trend, you won't be surprised when things happen, right? You won't be surprised when the price moves. We've got the warning signs here. So I tweeted it out. I'm sure many people tweeted it out. I'm not the only person who has a charting account. 3-day MA200 violation right here, right? A couple weeks ago, I had some follow through on that. This candle is interesting. Candle is interesting because, on the one hand, you think about like the topic of like confirmation, right? And I get this all the time actually in Bitcoin.live when people ask me, when you say like with this level, confirming this level or breaking that level, what do you mean? And like the whole topic of confirmation, right? The whole topic confirmation. The trend is your friend. Absolutely. It's like confirmation depends on you and your style. Like if you're just, someone who's trading, I mean, that's what you're doing. You're watching all day and you can afford to narrow to that 1 hour, 15-minute type of thing. But if you're just like a regular person who doesn't just, like you have a real job, you're not watching, Bitcoin, you're not watching like these different pairs during the day. You're operating more on like a candle close basis, 1 or 2 candle close basis. So like that's confirmation. So like what does that mean? So what am I trying to say here? So for like more of a kind of a conservative method in terms of confirming that you've lost this level, when you get this what's called a high wave spinning top, April 25th here on the 3-day chart Bitcoin, right? That's a high wave spinning top, or a small real candle body, long upper and lower shadows. And that's kind of evidence of volatility. That's evidence of indecision. Indecision means indecision on the heels of or just after the prior move, which is really a move down. So it kind of shows some stalled bear momentum on this candle. That's the candlestick theory. But on the other hand, from classical charting, you've now got 2 closes below the SMA 200, right? So you've got kind of an even more conservative method has triggered, which is now the second close. Because that's another, in classical charting, that would be like a higher tier of more of a cautious or a conservative method of confirming a level. Not just 1 close, I want 2 closes, right? There's your second close. So you have to kind of look at the candle bodies and the momentum. But the price has a clear direction. And you see that also with the EMA 8 rejection. You see that with just everything after this failed breakout. And I've been very clear in my belief that people are under counting the importance of this failed breakout. They're under including that they're underweighting it in their analysis, kind of across the board. So this is a 3-day chart. You can see it pretty clearly here. MA200 looks to be losing it. Daily chart. Right? Daily chart, MA200 rolling over, not good. So you got to be ready. Any bottom will be marked by volatility and volume. You'll know it. Like when a bottom hits you, you usually know it. You usually kind of know it. And, You know, and the next day you definitely say, "Oh, I should have noticed it. You know, it's one of those things, and it comes with volume and volatility. So slow bleed, you'll just drift lower, and that's kind of what we're doing right now. So let me check in with the chat room. That was kind of ominous, but that's where we're at, right? I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. That's not who I am. All right. Let's see. What do I think about ape? All right. So like I don't really know anything about it. I guess I don't know, but like people who are solid people I follow were like tweeting about it. I actually put out a tweet today, on it, my first one. So that's like I'm not gonna tweet something I don't know about, but there are people that I follow that I understand that they're also, only doing good solid stuff. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of safe for me to kind of look at it. But there's not a lot of chart history. I have it on the I have it right here. And like what am I looking at? Here's a daily chart. Like there's no real chart. There's no real chart. You barely have you barely have a middle Bollinger like an MA20. So this is like not about the chart. This is about momentum. This is about hype. This is about like the energy behind the project and more something like they called the je ne sais quoi, or I don't know. There's something about this, but it's not about the chart right now. There's no history. There's no trend, right? What I try to do is trend analysis. So I'm aware of the mojo, quote unquote, but there's not much TA to be had here. Let's see, AVAX. Let's take a look at AVAX. Let's do it this way. All right, let's take a look at that one. Yeah, this one's breaking down. I mean, it doesn't look good. I mean, this is not good. I was actually looking at this earlier. This is not good for AVAX. This is not good. I mean, minimally, it looks like it'll probably test low 50s, probably break it. So this is not. I mean, it looks like the uptrend is rolling over. I mean, you've got kind of that. If you just, I mean, you've got a break. You've got a break. You have the down move, and you've got kind of a rising channel and a break from the channel. So it's like simplify your thinking. This is what you've got. You've got a move. You've got a consolidation, and then potentially a break and a continuation of that. Right? Doesn't look good. Does not look good. Let's see near. So near is interesting. Let's take a look at near. All right. Appreciate you folks, by the way. I want you to know I appreciate you out there. Hey, please hit like, please hit subscribe. I guess that helps me in some way, but I appreciate that if you can. Yeah, I mean, look, so near, all right. I mean, if I'm like a dumpster diver, like this would be one of the ones I would play. Like there's like a maybe 5 plays things I would consider playing in this environment. This would be one of them. And the simple reason why is relative strength. It has had relative strength to market. The price has continued to trade above the MA200. We're revisiting the MA200. We're revisiting this level that was resistance, and likely flip back into support. So I actually kind of like the setup here. But you have to understand the market overall has a kind of a big cloud over it right now. So, you know, you have to keep that in mind. But I honestly, if I was looking for, this is something I would play if I wanted to play in this environment. This would be what I would play. There are very few setups that look as good as this, honestly. Let's see what's going on here. XTZ. I haven't looked at this one in a while. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I just don't like it. I don't like it. It's bearish. I mean, what are you gonna see? I mean, you look at this, it's bearish. You don't need to like study TA to look at this and say it's bearish. It's bearish, right? MA200 rolled over, lower highs. Kind of looks like a descending triangle. You don't want to be in this. What's the next one? Let's see. Glimmer. I've never heard of that one. We'll do a couple. We'll do some random ones here. And I apologize if I don't have it. Maybe I can't cover it. Depends. I'll try it here real quick. Glimmer. Let's see. Usually KuCoin will have a little more history than. Yeah, there's nothing there. I don't have enough history in that one. XMR Monero. How about that one? I need price history, right? TA is historical. It's trend analysis, and it's like is taking advantage of when the price makes a temporary move against the trend. You have to if you just believe TA doesn't work, you're probably not watching this channel. But people tell me all the time, like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It's just gonna follow the stock market. It's just." Maybe, but maybe not. Like, the price will either hold support or not. The price either holds resistance or not, right? It either maintains a high or low structure or not. Like, you just watch the chart, follow the momentum, and you apply your risk accordingly. And that's the only way to do it. Everything else is foolhardy. XMR, hasn't really broken down yet. It's kind of just sideways. I'm not super interested in it. It's definitely not something I'm looking to trade. But it's not definitely bearish. It's just a kind of a sideways chart. Um, let's see, everybody. Let's see what's going on. PYR. Let's take a look at that one. I know there's some interest in that. PYR. I mean, it's still kind of hanging in there. It's still hanging in there. It hasn't broken down, but it hasn't shown, it hasn't really shown any strength this year. It hasn't shown any strength since it topped off, right? At the end of last year, at this point. So, what's it been doing? I mean, it hasn't broken down, but there's not a lot of strength. So what do you do with something like that? It's kind of an inconclusive, kind of a sideways trend at this point. Um, with any of these type of plays, you could play the range lows and you say this level either holds or not, I'll buy there. And if it breaks, I'll sell. If it doesn't, I have a decent risk reward. So that's like one way to play it. But it's not that interesting to me. Let's see, Polkadot. I haven't looked at that one in a while. Take a look at Polkadot. All right, let's take a look at Polkadot. All right, I mean it's not looking good. It's just continued to break down. And like I'd ask you if you're in this, like why? It's one of those things where like why, right? It's a pretty tough looking trend. You've got the price, you know, you can just see the progression of the breakdown. The price accelerated, came back, failed to hold that level, failed to hold this level, right? Um, like paused and consolidated at the MA 200, but it lost the 200. Now the 200 is rolling over. Okay. And then you get this structure where you form the low and it becomes a clear resistance. I mean, if you don't sell here, you're just you're just not paying attention. You're literally not paying attention. I mean, it's such a clear breakdown, clear bearish retest at a reasonably well-established level. At this point, this is a pivot. Like, you got to study these charts, and downtrends can reverse, right? Um, you know, this is a situation, and Bitcoin did this, where you have a red light turning orange, trying to turn green, and this is your pivot level to turn green. Much as Bitcoin had the ability to do that on the 46K recapture and the MA 200 underside retest, circa 48K. This is your chance. You kind of start to flip this high and you go long, you come back below. I mean, that's it. Momentum here is like mega down. Like, this is a really strong sell signal, a short signal. You know, you gotta remove yourself from why you think you're in the trade. Somebody in the chat room said this, or you think it's the next layer one this or layer two that. I don't even know what any of that stuff means, and I don't need to. Like, I'm just so pure trend, and it just helps. I try to be really good at this. And like the other stuff, that's all debate. Show me in the price. Don't tell me. Like, you see it in the price, you see the momentum. This was like a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 sell or short signal on dot. Doesn't look so good. Maybe we'll do a few more here just to kind of see. I'll check in with the chat room, see how everyone's doing. Yeah, we could take a look at this one. We'll take a look at FTM. Take a look at FTM Fantom. So, FTM. I mean, it's breaking down. You're in a little bit of trouble. This one was really, I've been doing this for a while. Oh, this is Polkadot. Let me get rid of that comment. FTM. So I've been doing this for a while, and you can tell when something is so hyped up. There's like a hive mind about it, to where there's this like critical mass of people who believe that something's going to happen. That it's like when there's moments in time that where like the chart's clearly turning bearish, but you get into these kind of fights with the maxis. The chart really started to break down, obviously, in the loss of the MA200. You see the underside retest here. You see, similar to what Bitcoin did, presume, with the double top here, essentially. But it was at a different time. Bitcoin's was May, right? May and November. Here, you kind of have something similar. Um, this thing, I sensed it on Twitter. I mean, there was some real enthusiasm about it, and like, for whatever reason, from my experience, when I sense that enthusiasm, I just get bearish. I just get, and maybe one of these days it'll be unwarranted, right? Maybe one of these days it's the next Microsoft or the next whatever. But like when I start to I see people talking, and I'm like, wow, this person really believes. Like this person really like. There's this like in art, in theater, they call it suspension of disbelief, right? So there's a point where people are that much into it, and I'm like, wow, people are getting that level of into whatever this is, and I immediately get bearish. And I don't know, whatever it is. So that's just kind of an aside. That's a little bit of a story. That's what's going on with FTM. FTM looks to go lower. Big kind of break of these levels. You wanted to see it hold that 130s level. All right, we'll do vet. I see you out there, Mohammed. Let's check it out. See how I feel. We'll go a little bit longer. I wanted to touch base, everybody. I love you out there. I hope you're doing well. I know life is hard. Harder for some of us than others, but I'll try to understand your struggle and appreciate you. I mean, vet, it's not great. It's not great. I mean, but it doesn't look as bad as some of the stuff out there. I'll give you that. But that's like when you're at the point of looking at like gradations of bad. You're looking at like the versions of like, it's like what's left over at the rummage sale type of situation. It's not exciting. You're not looking at this and thinking, wow, I want to like deploy my capital at this one. The MA200 has rolled over. It's going sideways. It's not straight down. You've got some kind of evidence of support kind of in this area. So I mean, that's some reason for not completely panicking, but I don't like the chart. It's not interesting to me. Let's see. All right. Mohammed, I already got you, brother. I can't do ADA and vet. ETH. All right. No problem, Bright. We'll check it out. I mean, it's just really, it's clear. Like when you look at this, it should be clear what you're looking at. All right. I mean, I hope, but like we all look at these things differently. It's like muscle memory, right? You study charts, you look at it over and over again, and I'm telling you, like textbooks help, classical charting, candlesticks, CMT helped me a lot. You look at this and you just see, I see two parts. I see the move up and this digestion, right? It's the move up and kind of the trend break and the digestion. You see it, and it's just you're at this point where the trend is like threatening to roll over. It's threatening to roll over, but it could also continue, right? And you kind of, here in the past where it's going to roll over, we're just going to roll over. No, we're going to continue, right? So it can do that. It can totally do that. It's like I've used this analogy before, and more so recently. It's like the tennis ball, right? And where it's like you throw up the tennis ball and it's right there. And yes, it probably will come over, but and maybe that's a poor analogy because a tennis ball doesn't keep going. But it's at the peak where you're starting to think, you're thinking, okay, this is the height of that move. So it could possibly continue, but really you'd think it's probably not going to, because you're looking at weakening structure, it's weakening trend. I mean, it is what it is, right? You go back, you see the up thrust. Pardon me, let me do that. You see the up thrust. You have to mark that. I mean, that's pretty clear, right? So that's a blow to momentum. Like everything is momentum, right? You got this big blow to momentum, move down, consolidation, right? From the move down, moving averages rolling over. So what are we looking at? So the point I'm making is when you look at this, you could see it's a move, a great move that kind of got a little bit over its skis, and it's probably going to come back lower. Um, it's kind of what I've been saying. So, I mean, I'd be interested here for a trade, but I'm much more interested, around there, 1800s for a trade. 1800s, 2K. I think it's probably going lower because I think Bitcoin's going lower. But if I didn't think Bitcoin was going lower, I'd still look at this chart and think this chart's going lower. Take a look at AAVE. Yeah, I mean, it's not a great looking chart either. I mean, you've got the trend rolling over, you're kind of drifting lower. Not something you're really kind of looking to play at this point. You've got a clear level that you would want to see flipped for momentum to kind of get you kind of back on track. I'm going to wrap things up. I do want to say thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching tonight and spending a little bit of time here with me. I enjoy trading. I enjoy studying the charts. I got to tell you, like when I'm telling you, like I got wrecked really hard when I got started, and really over the years, I made so many different mistakes over and over again that kind of led to what I do today. Right, my book, Trading Wisdom, all the YouTube stuff. And a lot of it is just it's just stupid repeat mistakes. So, um, it's a long journey. Don't get frustrated. Um, and one thing I would say is, you get what you put in. So if you're frustrated, ask yourself if you're actually working hard, because it's not easy. Don't expect it to be easy. You have to own up to like your own effort level, right? So that's really up to you, kind of what you do with this. So don't complain unless you've really put in the effort. And so that's what I would say. Hopefully that's not too harsh. Of course, I'm on Twitter at Big Cheds. Um, I'm on Twitter at Big Cheds. Check me out on YouTube. I've got a bunch of playlists that I hope are of value to you. This video will be under the quick market updates, my book, which is on Amazon. 4 different formats. The free version is on YouTube. I'm gonna do episode 14 soon. I've been putting it off. I do apologize, but I will get it done. Check out all the other great stuff I have. Hopefully you do enjoy that. I will say, if you're gonna start with any one video, go to my educational playlists, tutorial educational live streams, and watch the most recent video. It will explain moving averages. My methodology, my style will kind of help everything make more sense. And of course, I'm a founding analyst at Bitcoin.live for almost 4 years. Or really, very soon, about 4 years coming up. I've been, twice a week, full market updates. Doesn't matter where I am. I'm on vacation. I'm going to get an update to those members. Those are my people. So I would definitely encourage you to check that out. We have a wonderful team, really great team. Check that out. Otherwise, listen, just hang in there. Don't be too aggressive, especially in a market like this, which is a really, really tough market, right? You don't have to worry about missing the bottom, right? Oh, what if it really goes to 100K? Look, if we get back up above, 45, 46K, if we get back up above kind of the MA 200 area, you can go long comfortably. So you've got kind of a limited window that you'd miss to the upside when you have a lot of potential room to the downside. I see scenarios of 30K tested, 30K broken, 20K tested, 20K broken. I've talked about it. Those aren't like guarantees or predictions, but I can see that, but there's a lot between here and there. But bottom line is right now you've got more room to the downside than the upside. in the sense that you'll know when you're wrong quickly if you think it's going lower, and everything points to that. So why fight it? Why fight the trend? Just my thoughts. Other than that, listen, I appreciate you folks. I hope you're doing well. I wish you fortune, I wish you love, and I wish you happiness. And we'll talk again soon. So let's get that dancing on, all right?